guys, here we are in the second video of lesson 1 of module 1. All right, let's check it out. You need to have your place value chart in the dry erase sleeve and your dry erase pen ready to go because we are going to jump right into it. So we're thinking about the relationship between 1 million and the relationship with 1,000. Okay, because remember we had that number in the last video, 1,731,000. Sometimes it helps if we put the commas in there, right? 225, right? And so we've been talking about 1 million and 1,000. So 1 million divided by what is equal to 1,000, right? They're not next to each other. They're not adjacent to each other like our twos were. So it's not just multiplying by 10 and dividing by 10 to go from 20 to 200 and 200 to 20. Now we have 1,000 and a million, right? So if you remember from our last video, we're going to multiply by 10, multiply by 10, multiply by 10, moving 3 spaces to the left. And each one is 10, 100, because 10 times 10 is 100, and 100 times 10 is 1,000. So 1,000, right? 1,000 times 1,000, 10, 10, 10, equals 1 million. So 1 million divided by 1,000 is going to equal 1,000. Are you following along with this on your board? Okay, make sure you're writing it and not just watching it, right? I'm not a TV, I'm a math teacher, so you got to be connected with me here. Make sure you have your number written out, and then you're using your arrows to show that we're multiplying by 10, multiplying by 10 more, multiplying by 10 more, and we're literally jumping across these lines 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, right? So that's where we get the 1,000 from, because 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000. And 1,000 times 1,000 is 1 million. Excellent job. Okay, so now we're going to think about 1,000 is blank times as small as blank. All right, let me see if I can clean some of this up for us. Okay, so now we're going to think about 1,000 is blank times as small as. Okay, let's write it here. 1,000 is blank times, as small as, not as big as small as blank. Okay, so 1,000, there's our 1,000. Okay, and it is 1,000 times as small as 1 million, right? 6 zeros. So I don't know about you, but this language is a little confusing for me. As small as, what they're trying to say is 1,000 is 1,000 times smaller, right? As small as means smaller or smaller than, okay? That would be a good thing to write on the back of page 3 in your notes so that you have this, right? When you do your practice set, you want to make sure you're going to have questions like 1,000 is blank times as small as, and you can be like, what does that mean again? It means smaller than, right? 1,000 times smaller than a million, okay? But we need to make sure that we understand the math language. All right, now I'm going to have a question for you in Ed Puzzle. This is going to be question number 1 for this video, right? Question number 1 for this video. Would you rather have $1,000 bill or $1 million bill, and why? $1,000 bill or $1 million bill? Go ahead and answer that in Edpuzzle right now. Okay, and we're moving on to looking at some other totals on our place value chart. So we're going to clean this off, and continuing on the back of page 3, we're going to be working with another one of our numbers. Keep cleaning. Nope. Maybe I have to use my eraser for some of this. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to use another one of our numbers that we worked with in the beginning of class. And that other number is 2,988,396. Okay, and if it helps you, you can put the little commas in there as long as you just know that they're not numbers, right? Okay, now looking at this number, we're going to underline our 2 8s. And we're going to circle our 2 9s. Okay, underline your 2 8s, circle your 2 9s. You're doing this with me on your place value chart using your dry erase pen, right? Doing it along with me. Okay, so now we're going to think, are these 2 8s equal to each other? Just like we did in the last video, looking at the 2 8s. Last time we looked at our 2 2s. We're going to look at our 2 8s. These are not the same digit. They're both using 8s, but different values. And what could we say if this is 8 10,000s? That would be 80,000. And this is 8,000. Okay, so what is the relationship between the two? Okay, what is the relationship between 8,000 and 80,000? And what is the relationship between 80,000 and 8,000? Okay, hopefully you've been right here with me and you're thinking that 8,000 times 10 is 80,000, right? And 80,000 divided by 10, oops, sorry, that should be divided by, yeah, let's throw that out. Oh, let's erase that. There we go. Okay, 80,000 divided by 10 is 8,000. Okay, remember that relationship only works when they're right next door to each other. They have to be right next door, and the fancy word for right next door is adjacent. Okay, now let's look at our 2 9s. Our 2 9s are far apart. They are not next door. They are not adjacent. They're down the block from each other, right? Okay, let me just clean this up a little bit. So we have, oh, you know what? Let's use a different color. Let's use green so we can see the relationship between the 9s in green. Okay, now if I'm going to go from 9 10s, which is 90, right? If I'm going to go from 90 to 900,000, 900,000, right? That's the same as this number. It just has all the zeros on it. Okay, what do I need to do to get from here to here? I need to say 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. And each of those jumps is multiplying by 10. Okay, so there's 10, there's 10, there's 10, and there's 10. Sorry, that's a little messy. Let's just clean that up a little bit. Okay. 10. Okay, so now we have 10, 10, 10, 10. 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 10 is 1,000. 1,000 times 10 is 10,000, right? So we could say 90 times 10,000, 10,000 equals 900,000, right? Okay. And then the same thing the other way, 10, 10, 10, 10, except that time we would be dividing 900,000 divided by 10,000 is equal to 90. So remember, if you're going to the left, going to the left, then you're multiplying and it's getting bigger, right? 900,000 is bigger than 90. So every time we go over, we're getting bigger by 10 more. And if we're going to the right, then we're getting smaller. Each time we're going over, we're getting smaller by 10. Okay, that's how our place value system works. Each adjacent one to the left is 10 times bigger, and each adjacent one to the right is 10 times smaller, or dividing by 10. Okay, awesome job. Now I have another question for you in Edpuzzle. This will be question number 2 for this video. Question number 2 in Edpuzzle is 900,000 9 times as much as 8 10,000s. Okay, so let me clean this up for you so we can show you more clearly what we're talking about. This is faster than erasing. It's like, but sometimes it won't let me do the whole thing. I don't know why. Okay, so we're looking at 900,000, right? 900,000. You see I have it written out there for you right there. 900,000. Is it 10 times as much as 80,000 that we have right here? 80,000. Okay, that is your question in Edpuzzle, and don't worry, it'll be rewritten there for you. Can I multiply 80,000 by 10 and get 900,000? Yes or no? And please tell me why. All right, awesome job. And we're going to be moving on to this slide. So now look at this slide. 10 divided by 10, right? What is 10 divided by 10? 10 divided by 10 is 1, right? Okay. What is 100 divided by 10? 10, because 10 times 10 is 100. 1 times 10 is 10. How about 1,000 divided by 10? 100. 10,000 divided by 10? What do you think about those? 1,000. 100,000 divided by 10? 10,000. And 1,000,000 divided by 10? 100,000. So if you're looking at your place value chart, you might notice that because you're only dividing by 10, right? You're just going one level over to the right. So if we go back to our place value chart, then we can see that each time we divide by 10, such a mess here, huh? Still haven't figured out how to just clean the whole thing off one time. Okay, but we're looking at our headings here, right? Clean that off a little bit. Okay, so you can see 1,000,000 and then 100,000. So there's 10 divided by 10. And then 100,000 divided by 10 is 10,000. And then 10,000 divided by 10 is 1,000. So you're just keeping going one over each time you're dividing by 10. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was clear in your dividing by 10. When we divide by 10, the quotient moves one place value to the right. When we divide by 10, the quotient is 10 times as small, right? Okay, awesome job. Thank you for sticking with it. You're doing awesome. This is video number 2, so one more video for you. All right, Thanks so much. See you soon.